A Business Startup Guide. Chapter 1. Starting a Business Info. Starting a Business 1. The American dream is and always will be to come up with an idea, start a business and become rich from your own efforts, yet thousands of businesses fail each year due primarily to not being familiar with the basics involved in running one. Every business venture contains certain inherent risks and any number of alternative directions in which to go. Make no mistake about it, I think all that flowery psychobabble about doing what you love and the money will come is all well and good as a new age ideology, but I have learned about a double agenda in the world. The world in the media is frivolous and superficial. This has the ability to market pop stars, home decor, and other useless things to some stupid, brainwashed people who will buy these things, but in the real world, somebody like you or me trying to sell something frivolous will go out of business because it's the image and the atmosphere people are buying, and an ordinary guy or gal like you or me don't have the muscle of a mainstream media hyping us up, so I have to constantly warn people. If you plan to start a business, don't do something frivolous, luxurious, or not necessary. Pick something that people need no matter what. Sure, a health spa might work in the ritzy part of town while the economy is good, but when the economy tanks and the stock market drops, this is one of the first things that people drop. Pick a hardcore nuts and bolts business like food service, home heating, office services, virtual assistant, anything that makes up the nuts and bolts of life. Anything else is a risk in my view. As a writer, I write only non-fiction, practical books. I wouldn't waste my time on fiction books because fiction is so tenuous. Even the best piece of fiction can add nothing to humanity but a momentary shot of inspiration that can't last because all inspiration comes from within the individual. Others can't really give it to anyone else much. Most fiction doesn't even come close to entertaining people, much less inspiring them. Do the same with your business. Pick something that people really need over something that seems like a cute notion. A karate studio or giving music lessons might sound like a dream business, and I'm not saying you can't make a living with these types of ventures, but unless you live in a wealthy area where enough people can afford frivolous activities for you to make some serious cash, you would be more successful cleaning chimneys or unplugging toilets. Most people who start businesses are not young people fresh on the scene. They are people who have been working a job that doesn't satisfy them. If you feel like a fool in the world of work or in your choice of a career, by all means get the guts to go out on your own. I had been brainwashed by the American dream of going to college then getting a professional job, but nobody told me how dull and empty it would be. I felt so dissatisfied with my job as a psychology teacher that I knew if I spent the next 30 years doing that, it would be a wasted life, so I did get the guts to leave to find my true identity and destiny. Don't jump unless you pick a business venture that you know you can earn a living from. You can always pursue your artsy ventures on the side. Most business is about sales. Regardless of your product or service, you have to have or develop an ability to sell yourself and/or your products. The truth is that most companies that are huge now started small by 1 or 2 people, but the thing is that many small businesses don't want to expand. They do enough business with the small-timers like themselves in their neck of the woods to make a comfortable living for themselves. Small businesses are easier to control, are more personable, and are run by families, which is a positive venture, to work together with your family in the family business. The statistics are that 90% of the businesses in America have less than 25 employees. Regardless of your size, be professional. Be friendly and sociable, but your primary concern is to do what the customer wants quickly. Get a cell phone, fax, computer, email, and even a small website advertising your business where customers can place orders. Be better than your competition by being available when he's closed. This way you'll attract the big hots who'll come to you when they need something now. It's all about the money. Don't give too much credit. Take either cash up front or credit cards. Be conservative on taking monthly payment terms. Build a reputation with good service and honesty. See your customers are possible suitors you're courting. Act like you're dating them. Seduce them with attention. You're there to help both your consumer customers and business customers save time, save money, do things better and faster. Offering a money-back guarantee shows you have integrity. Most business owners have big egos. Give them respect. Play up to their egos. They have the means to give you lots of business. If your business is geared to sell or provide a service to other businesses, don't be shy about advertising to them and showing them that you are better than your competition, but at the same time, don't overdo it with hype. Just make your presence known, tell them you'll do a great job, they should try you out. Offer a discount, a coupon, etc. Don't be a slick salesperson. Educate rather than sell. Strive to get customers by having satisfied customers tell their friends. This is word-of-mouth advertising. Don't be so desperate for business that you are willing to do work for people you don't know on credit. There are bad people around looking to take advantage of new business owners. Do credit checks, nox.com. Take staggered payments in increments as you do a job. Under no circumstances do a job with no payment up front expecting payment upon completion. Don't offer monthly payments unless you know the customer. They have got to pay when the job is done. Another type of bad customer is the impossible dream customer, the one who expects miracles that no human can do. This is common with home improvement. You can't satisfy some customers no matter what you do. If you feel a customer wants too much for his money, walk away from the contract before it's signed. Make the monetary terms of any credit crystal clear. Get an upfront fee. It's like a down payment on a house. It shows that the customer is serious. Don't take a job unless you will make a profit when all is said and done. Many new business owners take jobs they will lose money on because they think it will help build up their business. If friends and family hire you or buy from you, they will expect some kind of deal or some freebies. Have a thick skin. There are lots of rejections and snotty customers when running a business. You can't please everybody, so don't try. Money will be your greatest concern. I can't righteously tell you not to accept customers who won't pay full price on delivery, because most of your business customers will want either monthly payments or a month to pay after receiving the product or service. Do your homework on them before you give credit. Do credit checks. Do not give big orders to new customers. Give them small orders on credit, then build it up over time as they pay their bills. Be a cynic. When it comes to money, be aggressive about collecting what people owe you. Cut them off completely after 30 days of non-payment. Don't fall for any bullshit. If it looks like a well-run business, give them some leeway, but if it looks like a fly-by-night business run by the seat of one's pants, don't risk giving them your product or service unless they pay you at least something up front. Be up on the latest technology. You need a good, convenient location, otherwise most customers will not bother coming to see you. When any customer gives you a first job, they're checking you out. Do a great job for them. If you're a woman, be especially cautious about giving credit for your goods or services to male business owners. Be aggressive about getting paid up front. Simply say you're a small business, you can't afford to give credit. The most basic commandments are: treat customers with respect. Tell them what you will do and do it well. Be reliable. Always show up on time. Do the job like an artist does, with joy in your heart, and do it quickly. Customers are not equal. Treat your good customers like gold. Get rid of bad customers. Go the extra mile for good customers. Try to think out every conceivable situation before it happens. Don't burn bridges. If you want to expand, go nationally and internationally. Starting a business too. The greatest failing of all companies is a failure to keep a tight rein on spending and cash flow. You have to make sure you have enough money coming in and enough money on hand to pay your own bills at any given point in time. It's not enough to be intuitive about feeling that more money is coming in than you're spending. You have to see it in black and white with good accounting records. Secondly, you just can't open a business, put a sign up, an ad in the yellow pages and expect people to know you exist, therefore come. It's not enough to build it and they will come. You need a sales and marketing plan. Exactly what do you plan to do to get customers to notice you, then get them in the door? That's the eternal question. Astute business owners never stop addressing it nor coming up with new ideas to answer it. The major things you need to know before starting a business are the following points. A plan of what you want to accomplish. The risks of starting your type of business in your area. The business structure of your company. Suppliers. Customers. Prices you will charge for products. What pricing strategy will you use, if any? Geographic marketing region. The building, you will operate in for production and sales. Employees. Government regulations. Asset protection from lawsuits, divorce, and charges of income tax evasion. Before investing any money in a business venture, you should seek counseling and help from someone trustworthy who's been there and can help you out with sound advice, even if just the free advice available through the Small Business Administration and other books, particularly discussing the exact business you're dealing with. The name of the game is to find your niche in the market, then focus on it with a fury. When you stop growing one way, try another. From a conventional retail outlet, you could also go mail order, internet, distribute to larger department stores/supermarkets, open a second outlet, open a branch in a mall, move to other cities, etc. You could try new products or product lines. It's all about expansion, meaning new products or revisions of old ones. Constantly reinvent yourself. A monopoly is fine, but competition is fine too, because it means that the product sells. You just have to be different and better than the next guy. It's never a snap. Always expect hard work for your results. The golden rule of all business is that the customer is always right, so treat him like a king. Prices, quality, location, and service are everything. Poor business practices give you a bad reputation, then all is lost. Don't rely on just a few large customers. Always hustle for more business. Everything is the repeat customer. Give him a good deal and he will come back and tell his buddies about you. Have a good attitude, plan all the time, but be realistic. A good business owner values his employees as much as his customers. Get ready for a life of hard work and tedium. It's all about the small stuff. The crux of the business is the product line. Do you have a product or service that the customer wants? Even if you do, you have to let them know so that they can beat a pathway to your door. Once they come, you have to keep them coming with your bargains, your charming personality and friendly service. Everything is in a state of flux. No one knows for sure what will make it and what won't. When you get an idea, you must weigh the pros and cons and determine the bottom line. Will it make a profit financially? Don't live in the dark ages. Modern technology is great. Learn it and use it, everything from computers to fax machines to color photocopiers. Keep up with what's going on in your area and in the world. If you see an opening for a new niche, go for it. All possibilities exist only for a short window of time. Do it or someone else will. If your business starts to outgrow itself, plan well before you spend lots of money expanding. Many companies have gone belly up when trying to expand. Above all else, don't become a business junkie/workaholic. The most productive people are always those who know the value of rest, balance, and personal things. Although I love my work and do it freely and lovingly, I still cut out and work out, watch TV, drink my wine, smoke my dope, spend easy time with my babe and my dogs, etc. You can work hard then cut out for a while to get your center back. One of the major causes of business failures is due to the founder wasting startup capital on frills such as an impressive storefront office, expensive furnishings, and corporate legal costs. One of the basic traits you must develop if you are going to be successful in business is a tight hold on your expenditures. Anything that does not make money for you or protect your investment should not be purchased at this time. Other reasons for failure are lack of knowledge, poor management skill, competitive market, poor product line, poor location, people don't want the product, failure to change, and poor marketing. Selecting a name for your business is quite important and particularly relative to advertising. Your business name should describe the product or services you offer. The advantage of using your full name in the title of your business, such as Johnny Jones Meat Lockers, has the advantage of making credit somewhat easier to come by provided you pay your bills on time, plus the fact that you believe in your business so much that you put your own name on it. Should you buy, lease or rent space for your business? Think twice before you make any decision along these lines. Most businesses tend to grow quickly or never get off the ground. There are a few exceptions, but only a few that tend to grow at a modified rate, so buying a piece of property and setting up your business on or within that property obligates you to ownership regardless of what happens to your business. Leases are almost always strong contracts written by attorneys to the advantage of the property owner. When you sign an agreement to pay someone for the use of their space over any length of time, you're nailed into paying for that space regardless of what happens to your business. In the beginning, it's wise to either get the shortest term lease possible or arrange to rent with an option to lease at a later date. Location is everything. Secondly is visibility. The design and placement of your sign is important to your business, specifically for retail establishments. Your business sign is usually the first thing a potential customer sees, and as such, it should catch his eye and leave an impression that lasts. It would be a good idea to ride around your town and take a look at the signs that catch your eye and try to determine the impression of the business that sign leaves on you. This is a basic learning formula for determining the design, size, and placement of your business sign. Get a good ad in the yellow pages. A lot of your first-time customers will be people who drive by, see the sign, remember it, and come by when they need your product or service. Treat all first-timers like you're a good guy willing to help them out a bit. First impressions are everything. People are lazy, they think that most businesses in any field are basically the same, so they will usually go for the one closest to home, check it out, and if it feels good, they will come back. Cheap prices count for a lot, but emotions play a lot too. Don't underestimate the power of delivery, particularly free delivery in some businesses, or even drive-through for some also. When your business grows to the point of needing additional help, don't be afraid to hire the help you need. When you're ready to hire someone, simply run an ad in your local paper and or register your needs with the local office of your state's employment service for free. Hire the additional people you need and your business will continue growing. If you don't, for whatever reason, you will find yourself married to your business and your business growth stymied. Regardless of how small your business is when you begin, never walk in with the thought in mind that it's something to keep you busy. Anyone with that kind of attitude is not serious about doing a job and making money. Establish your business. Put it on its feet and then hire other people to do the work for you. Hire the right person for those businesses that require an operations manager or someone to run a phase of it that you're too busy to handle, or the business will surely suffer. As the sole proprietor of a business, you won't be paid as an employee, so there will be no income tax deducted from whatever you withdraw from the company's earnings. What you will have to do is check with the IRS office for the tax guide for small businesses handbook and probably end up filing an estimated tax return on a quarterly basis. The minute you open your doors for business, you will have to spend some time engaged in the work of bookkeeping. Exactly how you keep books should be on the recommendations of a good tax counselor. The same holds true for your overall business and or payroll accounting system. Look for an experienced CPA that knows the accounting problems to your particular kind of business and solicit his advice counseling. If your business is going to involve the possible purchase or lease of operating equipment, again seek the help of your tax counselor for the most advantageous method of obtaining the needed equipment. Basically, arranging for your suppliers to give you materials on credit will depend upon your honesty and personal financial statement. The best way is usually a personal visit to the person with the power to approve or disapprove of credit at the company where you want to set up a credit account. Show him your financial statement and explain your prospects for success, then assure him that you've always honored all of your obligations and that if ever there's a question or problem, you'd like for him to call you at home and, of course, give him your home phone number. Every business is different and will not be using the same kind of fixtures and equipment. Sometimes it is much better to preserve cash for inventories or working capital and purchase good used fixtures and equipment at a much cheaper price. With the constant changes in the income tax laws, you will have to do extra analysis to determine whether a lease program or direct purchase is the best way to proceed. Whether to buy or lease depends on many facts which can only be determined by observation and computation. It could be better to lease electronic equipment, computers, copiers, and certain other products due to the rapid advances continuously taking place in these fields. Suppliers are reluctant to ship their goods to new businesses. This is one reason you should get to know your banker, as he can offer credit references acceptable to most any firm. You will have to convince your proposed suppliers that you are honest and hard-working and that your business has a good chance for success. You may have to pay COD while getting started, so take this fact into account when preparing your financial planning and startup requirements. After you have become established with your suppliers, send your financial data to Dun & Bradstreet, dnb.com, so your company will be listed in their files. Most every firm in the country recognizes Dun & Bradstreet as a most reliable organization for obtaining correct credit information. Work with your suppliers to take advantage of special offers, cooperative advertising programs, trade and cash discounts, dated invoices, etc. When you are getting started, give a press release to the local newspaper. Depending on the type of business, it may be profitable to have a few thousand circulars printed and distributed throughout the area, or you can have grand opening circulars inserted in the newspaper to be distributed to subscribers. Watch the ads of your competitors. As you find time, clip various ads of businesses similar to your own from large city papers. File them for ideas when preparing your own ads. There are all kinds of promotional ideas and gimmicks to keep your business out in front of your competitor. When you first start thinking about establishing your own business, find out when the next issue of the telephone book will be printed and the deadline for getting listed. Place a reasonable display ad in the yellow pages under the classification which best describes your product or service. Some phone books have a coupon section at the back where you put a coupon in for your business for a fee. Do it, it's great for business. Many cities have 2 or more telephone companies competing for business, so that means 2 or more sets of yellow pages. Advertise in all of them. Advance deposits are usually required when you sign up for power, gas, water, and sewer. Shelter tax dollars through a KIA plan or corporate pension and profit-sharing plans if your business is incorporated, or some kind of retirement plan. Starting a business 3. Find an opportunity that has a proven track record of success. The keys to success in small business are: 1. Find something that people want or need that you can create or get. 2. Market it to people and businesses that need your product. The basic minimum factors of starting a business are: startup costs, legal matters, business license, accounting and tax issues, liability insurance, other business insurance, zoning. There are several types of business insurance like commercial general liability, property coverage, business owner's policy, BOP, general liability and property coverage in a single policy, theft, business interruption, disability or death of owner or key person, professional liability insurance for errors and omissions, somewhat like malpractice insurance, umbrella coverage, excess liability, business auto insurance. Look for a business built around an operational system that automates the basic business processes and that lets you focus on building relationships. Break large tasks into smaller pieces. Make it fun. The spiritual reason for starting a business is to do something worthy with yourself to earn your keep while helping and uplifting the world somehow. Think of your business as an expression of what you feel in your deepest soul, your God-given talent, the divine spark that was there when God created you. Don't specifically think about making money, think about doing something worthy with yourself and you win the game of life. In order to make it in business, you should like or love people, meaning customers and employees. How you feel about them determines how you will treat them. A good business owner has an intuitive sense about his business just like a great poker player has in his field. You have to feel it, know when to go for it, know when to fold for a while, know when to work your employees hard and know when to give them a break. Businesses fail because people go into business to make money, not to do what they love to do that inspires, amuses, or helps people in some way. You have to have an idea or vision worth working for that inspires you, that you believe in, and work on it like crazy because you love it and believe in it. Your business is a reflection of who you are as a person, so pick a business that reflects who you really are as a person, that you feel comfortable in. On top of this, you have to be disciplined enough to be pragmatic and take care of the many trivial things that go along with running any business, or hire trusted people to do these things, like maybe your wife at the beginning of the venture. Most of all, have to have vision and be a doer, have the energy to get the things done that you need to do to succeed. The biggest mistake people make when starting a business is that they try to do it all themselves and don't get the help they need, either free expertise from the SBA.gov or score.org, books, friends, or hired guns like managers and consultants to help set a straight course. If you work hard intelligently, you can't avoid success at some point in time. You must choose to do something you love to do as a business venture, otherwise you will never be truly happy. If you truly love to do it, you must forget about the risk and uncertainty and proceed, as Thoreau said so valiantly long ago. Work lovingly towards the vision in your soul and you will meet with great unexpected success during quiet hours. This doesn't mean that you take risks. You start at the bottom with a small business and work your way up slowly, learning the ropes as you go along. Money is not the problem, it's the lack of imagination. Be yourself with your straight-down-home unpretentious attitude and simply work hard to get what you want out of life. There's no divine way to run a business, nor any gurus out there, despite their attempt to complexify business by making it a profound academic field. It's really just about hard work and creativity, doing what you can do to serve people somehow. No matter how great your business gets, you will always have problems. Treat them like you deal with the problems of life. Solve them to the best of your ability and move on. Customers want specific products and good service. Big companies can't provide this as good as smaller, more personable ones. Find your niche, something out there that people need, and go with it. Always think of what people want and fill that need. Customers are not the passive people they once were. There's so much product and competition out there that they will find what they want and stick with those companies that treat them right and give them what they want at the outset, but as soon as the service quality of these companies goes down, the customers move on to the next guy. The American consumer is inherently dissatisfied, wants new things, more things, wants information, to live a better life, to be inspired and amused. Any half-decent idea can work. It doesn't have to be great, just something that fills a need. If it's good, it will grow in time. If not, you could still make a decent living with it. You don't even need a new product. Take a conventional good or service, make it much better and offer it to the public. Study your competition. Copy whatever good ideas they have, but go one step better by adding your own good ideas to the mix. Be the most complete and best at what you do at the lowest prices. The successful business owner sees everything, not just the vision but the customer's point of view and all the trivial crap and tedious work that goes along with it. You have to see it as a whole for what it really is. If you can take your business, package it down into a set program that can be replicated, you could make a lot of money by either creating branch retail outlets or franchising. Business has a lot to do with packages. Customers want neat packages. Work on the appearance and packaging of your business like an artist works on his creations of beauty. Work on detail. Get it down like McDonald's, with everything down to please the customer while making money. Think of it as building the perfect prototype for your business. The law of growth is that when the energy in your company is ready, do it, but don't push it unnaturally. Follow the natural rate of growth, don't push increases in business. Beware of getting too much money from investors, then lavishly foolishly spending it like there's no tomorrow. At the beginning, don't hire employees if you can get by hiring independent contractors by the hour. Have your office at home or rent a cubicle somewhere. They have these for rent in some office buildings. Don't sign a lease until you know your business is going to make it for at least a year. Share space and overhead costs with other freelancers and business starters. Be your own secretary for a while. You can have meetings in your home office, but you can also offer customers the convenience of meeting at their offices. Live like a pauper for a while in order to sink the money into your business. Before you leave your current job, get all your dental and medical work done while you're covered by insurance. Sign up as a dependent on your spouse's employer-paid insurance. Live within your means. Starting a business 4. Running a business is a two-tiered deal. Running the actual business of doing a service or selling goods. The paperwork involved with meeting government regulations and keeping the books. Managing people is basic common sense. Treat them like Jesus would treat them, but when the going gets tough or they get slack, lay the law down or get rid of them. It's okay to be buddies, but the bottom line is that you're there to do a job and you're the boss who keeps structure, order, and progress in the place. Simply be aware enough not to make any of the basic mistakes. Don't hire incompetent or dishonest workers. Don't start up gangbusters right away. Businesses take to develop and build a customer base. Don't delude yourself with overly high expectations. Making a business profitable requires eternal vigilance to all the details. Many people go into business without understanding what it takes to make a business work. They don't even read a basic business book or take a small business course. This is stupid. Business takes knowledge and education. It's good to have a positive attitude. It might yield you a few customers who like your sunny disposition, but it's good quality goods or services at reasonable prices that sells products. On top of that, it's all about advertising. If people don't know who you are, they won't come to you. All them self-help programs you can buy out there and all the MLM programs have a built-in scam mechanism where they can say you're not successful enough because you don't have enough of a positive attitude. This is a scam. A positive attitude is not enough. You need intelligent, wise hard work to go along with it. Be real. Understand the limitations of your business and look for rational ways to solve your problems. Don't just forge ahead with a go-get-em attitude, thinking this is all you need for success and the future will take care of itself as long as you're positive and trying. There is no such thing as karma in business. The customer doesn't particularly care about you as a person. He or she wants the best deal for themselves. You either provide it or they go elsewhere. They will try you out once. That will be their test. Based on that, you will get repeat business or not. You must appraise any new business venture realistically before you make a decision to commit to it. You must take a critical attitude to it before you decide to do it. Is there a market for your goods or services? Are there successful competitors or non-competitors doing the same thing in a different area out there? If there are, study them, copy them. Sometimes perfectly good business ideas fail. Another person can make these ideas work. Don't discount failed business ideas from your pool of ideas. Ask yourself the following questions. What mistakes do others make? What can you learn from other businesses? How much will it cost to start your business? What are the risks? Market research sounds like a fancy term from business school, but all it means is to see how the public in general or your target market feels about the goods or services you plan to sell. It's as simple as asking disinterested people, not friends or relatives, what they think of your product or service. Even if you are replicating someone else, some things don't fly in different areas. Go out and ask your target market if they need or want your product or service. Be wary of face-to-face interviews. People are inclined to lie so as not to create an uncomfortable situation. They are much more honest in questionnaire or in a group discussion where they're told to critique a product all the way, citing both good and bad points. Murphy's Law always factors into the day-to-day operations of all businesses. If something can go wrong, it sometimes will. A part of running a business is judgment, a part of it is guesswork. When you first start out, tread cautiously. Minimize your initial investment in order to minimize risk. Start on a shoestring. There are many reasons why businesses fail, most of them simple. Not enough money to present a professional image or meet payroll are the most common. Stupidity and not stopping to educate oneself beforehand are also pretty big reasons. People who get sucked into somebody else's idea, as with money-making magazine ads and franchises, often fail simply because it's not something from their souls, not something they feel strongly about. There is a chance that one of your business ventures will fail. If it does, remember that guts is going from failure to the next venture without losing faith in yourself. Most successful people succeeded on the back of failure. They kept going. There are two types of capital. Startup capital, tools and materials to launch your business. Operating capital, money you need to pay the bills. Obviously, the lower each of these categories are, the better for you. For every rags to riches story you hear in the media about someone who struck it rich in business, many fail. It takes hard work, some luck, and capturing the zeitgeist, which is the spirit of the times. It essentially means being at the right place at the right time, like getting in on the computer and fitness equipment booms in the 80s and the cell phone and internet booms of the 90s. Even though a lot of businesses look for places to borrow money, chances are that as a new business, they won't get it. It's too much of a risk for the banks. The banks will gladly give you money when you don't really need it after several years of success if you want to expand, but for a startup, it's basically a waste of time to apply for a business loan simply because of the poor track record of startups in general, but it's also partly due to the one-dimensional nature of bank managers. Why should they take a risk on an untested business even if it sounds like a good idea? You can go through the tedious process of getting paperwork together for a business loan application, but anybody who knows anything about business knows that this is the way it goes. Business startups hardly ever get loans from banks. The SBA might help you, a silent partner or venture capital, but you can pretty well bank against getting a bank business loan. In one sense, starting small without a loan is a blessing in disguise because you have to learn to be thrifty in order to make ends meet. It's no good to spend too much through over-optimism anyway, because taking on too many debts and overhead costs is a sure recipe for a possible disaster. If you have someone working for you, you have to withhold taxes from his or her pay and pay it to the IRS every quarter. You, in effect, become the IRS's tax collector. When you start a business, chances are that you will start by yourself without any employees. This avoids the problems of employees in general, affirmative action laws, payroll taxes, workers' compensation, etc. For now, but there probably will come a point where you will have to hire them, so learn the laws now regarding employees and learn a bit about how and where to find good ones who won't waste your time and try to scam you. There are a lot of lying, cheating, phony, frivolous, messed up people in the world, but who might be able to put a good face on for an interview, but they will steal from you and even file frivolous lawsuits. I have an intuitive gauge where I sense people. You have one too. If you don't feel right about someone, don't give them the benefit of the doubt. Hire someone else. It's not worth the headache, especially if you will be working together in the same room. If you hire a delivery driver, who cares what he's like as long as he does the deliveries, but if you are stuck with this person 8 hours a day, it had better someone you can get along with. Be good to employees simply because if you have a sweatshop mentality with them, such as trying to suck every ounce of work you can out of them, they will use that as justification to steal from you and sabotage you. One of the best ways to learn any business is to work in the business for someone else for a while, learn what you can, then go off and start on your own. If you sign a non-competitive agreement which states that you won't quit and start a competing business, you usually can't open a competing business within a few miles of your former boss for a period of about 12 to 24 months. Non-competitive agreements aren't that good in the legal sense because the law takes the view that business is business. In a free marketplace, competition is fair game. However, if you steal a trade secret and replicate it, that's another matter altogether. But if you work for Tire Business Joe and learn the business, quit and open up a tire shop down the road, even if you signed a non-competition agreement, it's like, so what? It's a free country. People have the right to start businesses. Finding customers is the major issue of any business. You need a certain level of selling ability in order to find potential customers, convince them that they need what you have and you're the best guy or gal to sell it to them. Personal relationships are necessary for success in any business. You have to be personable with employees, suppliers, customers, and any others who come across your path in the daily course of doing business. Chances are that your first business will be a sole proprietorship. This makes you personally liable for all debts, including debts if you are sued civilly and lose. If you have lots of assets like a home, it might be a wise idea to get some kind of business liability insurance, particularly if it's the type of business where someone could get hurt or you could accidentally do property damage. If it's something sedentary like office work, you don't need business liability insurance. In fact, your homeowner's insurance policy might even cover some business activities. If you have employees, you may need insurance in case of injury. You will need workers' compensation. Keep good books and pay your taxes to stay on the right side of the law. Running a business is mostly common sense, avoiding the big mistakes. Overconfidence and carelessness ruins many businesses. Learn the nuts and bolts knowledge essential to running your particular type of business and a business in general. The rest comes from practical experience on the job. You need bookkeeping knowledge and the basics of business law, especially as it applies to contracts, liabilities and taxes. Collect your bills in a timely fashion in order to keep a positive cash flow. Insist on prompt payment. Don't let anyone get in debt to you too deep. Cut it off at a reasonable amount. Not always actively recruiting new customers. This is the game, plain and simple. Build a good reputation so that customers come to you by word of mouth. Treat all customers well. Develop a sense of rhythm for your business where you neither have too few clients to sustain yourself or so many that you can't handle all the work. Keep customers by treating them well. You need repeat business in order to thrive. Iron out problems with your clients. You can't please everybody. Try to please your clientele but drop the bums and the loudmouths who are never satisfied. Don't badmouth them. Just say you're too busy right now to take on any new jobs. Workers and customers will steal products and supplies from you. Others will steal ideas. Workers will steal time if they can. They will sleep on the job or read frivolous magazines if no one is around to watch them. In essence, business success is a combination of luck and skill. No matter how hard you work, there is always an element of business beyond your control that could lead to good things or bad things. That's just the way it is. Accept the hand dealt to you and go with it. You make your own luck by assessing the risks and benefits of starting a business and the risks and benefits of any major moves thereafter, then acting on your analysis. Place ads on bulletin boards and in community newspapers. Ask friends and neighbors for referrals. Offer a discount or a free service for any clients they bring to you. Draw up a simple agreement with clients listing exactly which services you will be providing and the cost. If you're offering a monthly service, ask the client if he wants automatic debiting from his bank account to pay his bill. Place an ad in local newspapers and shopping guides. Contact area businesses that use your products and services. Create a professional letter and send it out to people outlining your services and products. Set up a website to advertise your company. Maintain a portfolio of photos and details of good work you've done. Have a professional appearance when you consult with your clients. Wear business clothing, bring business cards and company material. If the potential customer stalls, wait a week then call him. For some services, do you charge by the hour or for the job? Post flyers and ads at community centers, on church bulletin boards and in stores. Make your services known any way you can think of. Send letters to corporations offering your services. Make sure you fully understand the needs and wants of your client. Act professionally in all of your business dealings. With a website, potential customers could send you emails or call you to discuss jobs, or you could request that they send you a phone number where you could call them. For website sales, you would probably need to establish a credit card merchant account. Start with PayPal. Know your field. Your reputation in the community is very important. Offer to teach a class at a community school if you think it will help your business. Starting a business 5. Find something that makes good use of your skills and experience. Market that idea to people and businesses that will benefit from your product or service. A new entrepreneur will face startup costs, business license and government regulations, legal matters, accounting and taxes, liability insurance, zoning. Here are some possible business ideas. Provide a service. Create something artistic as in craftwork. Start a website. Do a job no one wants to do, like climb trees to cut branches, clean dirty basements, etc. Help children and/or animals. Food service, requires food license. When you start up, don't spend money on anything you don't really need. Create a contract or order form that you will use to deal with the customer. Consult at least 2 commercial insurance agents for a risk assessment of your business. Buy a liability business insurance policy. If your business is operated in a room of your home, you can probably buy a business rider on your homeowners or renters policy. Check at the city, county, state, and federal government levels to see what licenses and rules you have to follow. You can set up a sole proprietorship and run your business through your personal checking account. In some states and localities, you must register the business name with the county government and show this license before a bank will give you a business account. You will need to file a doing business as DBA or fictitious name form in most jurisdictions. If you go big, there are state and federal laws with certain requirements for various business structures, like whether a business needs to have workers' compensation insurance, certain hiring laws like immigration status verification, and the deductibility of certain expenses on tax returns. The most significant disadvantage of a sole proprietorship is that the company and its owner are linked when it comes to financial liability. If your business goes bankrupt, they can go after your house and other personal assets. If you incorporate, your personal liability is only for the amount invested in the corporation. When it comes to taxes, the corporation pays taxes plus owners pay personal income taxes. Check with city or county clerks to see if you require a local or state business license. Most states and the District of Columbia levy sales tax on most products and some services. You have to collect this tax and pay it to the government. Contact your state Department of Revenue for details about requirements for your business. You will have to set up an account for regular deposit of taxes you have collected. If you live in a residential area, you can quietly set up a home business, but if you start to intrude on others, like put up a commercial sign and customers park on the street to come see you, neighbors will probably complain and you will get into some trouble because the area is not zoned for a business to operate there. Starting a business 6. The first thing an executive must have is a fine memory. Of course, it does not follow that the person with an excellent memory is necessarily an exceptional executive. If a person has a good memory, they have the first qualification, but if they do not have a good memory, nothing else matters. Thomas Alva Edison. Of course you need a good memory to start a business, but you need other things too, namely a business mind, the ability to wear all hats, be a bit of wheeler-dealer and be creative enough to deal with situations as they happen. The sense of responsibility it takes to be accountable for everything you do, to know that your future is up to you as opposed to a regular job where you can get away with average effort. A business owner does many things beyond just do his business. He has to file quarterly income tax returns and hire people either as employees or independent contractors. Just for starters, the first step is to get a Federal Employer Identification Number, EIN, from the IRS, irs.gov, the number you'll use for federal and state tax reporting requirement. With employees, you will be obligated to withhold Social Security tax, Medicare taxes, federal income tax, state disability insurance, employment insurance, etc. If the employee is a union member, there are also pension, health, and welfare fund payments to be made. Either you will do all this paperwork, your accountant, or a payroll service. A sense of honesty, integrity, fair play, and trustworthiness that rubs off onto your workers as well as your employees. Many, if not most people go into businesses half-cocked. It's kinda like the way most people get married, with stars in their eyes, full of hope, thinking the future will take care of itself somehow as long as your heart is in the right place. While I applaud this sentiment, it's not really wise. Once the business is opened, you have to live with it, so do your research up front before you commit to something that could be over your head or something you have no interest in at heart. For a quick look at what you might be interested in, get my self-employment book and go to your local Yellow Pages as well as internet Yellow Page directories. They might have an index which neatly lists several hundred categories of businesses. Look through and circle the ones you might be interested in, then do some research on them. Find business research materials at the following places: Local Library, Board of Trade, Chamber of Commerce, Trade Publications, Business Associations, Business websites. Don't be a fool. Don't overlook such simple things as competition located close by unless you think you can put him out of business, but he could put you out of business too. When you do your marketing research with respect to the type of business you want to open up and its location, there are a lot of basic factors to consider, such as the following. Where is your competition located? How do they look? Study them. See how many competitors there are in the Yellow Pages. Visit each one posing as a consumer. Use their good ideas. Plot every competitor on a city map, then decide where it's best for you to locate. With some businesses, it's good to be far from the competition so the people in that area go to you. In other businesses, companies tend to bunch together, then the consumer decides which he wants, such as car dealerships or antiques stores. They often bunch together and consumers go there to shop around. Did you consider every possible business type and possible way of doing business? Income of residents within your area. Average age of residents within your area. Population demographics within your area: singles, families, college students, white, black, Jewish, professional, redneck, etc. Traffic flow. Is there a lot of drive-past traffic? Are you close to a major road or major exit? Do you have future expansion plans? What is the general future for business development in the area? What is the general mood of the area? New home, apartment, and business construction, or nothing much? Are there any plans for a new business park or a Walmart that could take traffic away from your business? Is there a market for your services and products in the area? What do you need to do to start your business? What would you like to do but can wait until the business is up and going? How much money will you need up front? How will you get it? How will you be frugal? Will you rent space or buy it? How much space will you need? Where will you locate? How will you use the actual space itself? What equipment do you need? Can you buy it used? Do you have the ability to operate the equipment? Do you need to purchase inventory, product? Do you have a list of possible suppliers? Who will do the accounting, you or a bookkeeper? What is your marketing strategy? What possible obstacles and unexpected expenses do you foresee? Are you going to incorporate your company at some point in time? Do you have a lawyer or law firm? What is the name of your company? Are you going to have a logo? Do you need to hire trained people? How will you find them? Go to the websites in your selected type of business throughout North America of companies who are manufacturers, service providers, distributors, retailers, etc. Learn from them. Some entrepreneurs use questionnaires to learn about the business when starting out. When you use a questionnaire, make the questions useful and well defined. Develop a plan on how you are going to get customers away from the competitor and into your business. Your success or failure will lay in your ability to encourage a customer to switch from their present supplier to try you out. Ultimately, there are only a few types of businesses. Service. Service and retail. Retail. Retail and wholesale. Wholesale. Internet sales. Pick where you will position yourself on this service retail wholesale internet sales continuum. Maybe you will try all of them as you expand. Thinking, or more specifically constant analysis of the business, is something every good business owner does naturally, always thinking about the business, always analyzing, taking notes from time to time and putting it down on paper. Develop a good relationship with your suppliers because without them you're nothing. Pay them on time. In return, if you ask, they will tell you about your competition's buying habits, new products, tired products, and new competition in your area. Your business is to make a profit, but the paradox is that you must never come off that way. The company strategy should be to make the customer feel important. Never give the impression that you are only in business to make a profit. You're there to help people and be a regular good guy. Character ethics is simply good business, even if you're crooked and selfish, as most people secretly are anyway. You and your employees must come off as friendly, trustworthy, confident, pleasant, cheerful, patient, honest people. Don't be over the top. Don't be high-pressure sales tactics. Don't give empty promises. The only way you stay in business long-term is to satisfy the customer. Anybody can sucker people in for one-time deals, but the trick is to get repeat business. Provide quality and service. Give the customer what he wants. Offer good prices. Do something above and beyond what is anticipated by the customer. Offer help and advice. Starting a business 7. Create ideas to try to find the right idea. Think up a new ideas or copy others who have been successful without violating intellectual property rights. Predict the future. What's the next trend / what do people want and need? Contemplate your ideas to see if you can make money from any of them. The idea has to be simple. Complicated ideas don't seem to make it. Determine the startup cost, the profit margin and the time necessary to spend on it. Examine your competition. Learn from them. How will you get customers? How can you help others? Create your nuts and bolts business with your product or service, figure out delivery, payment processing, etc. Decide on a price that will maximize profit. How do you market and tell the world who you are and what you do? Get a merchant credit card account to be able to accept credit cards. Focus on the big parts of the business, not the small stuff. Constantly advertise and market. Don't get weak. Keep at it all the time. Find creative ways to sell. Keep trying to improve your business. Keep revising and testing. People want to think they're getting a deal. Have sales, coupons, etc. Track your progress. Watch your cash flow. Don't trust anyone too much, especially with money. I've watched every episode of the CNBC TV show American Greed. People think up all kinds of ways to steal money from within a company. Grow what works, stop what doesn't. When you truly help people, you make money.